Well, hello there, private practice success community. How are you guys going tonight? Let's see who will be joining me live as I check in here on Facebook in our group. I am hoping I'm going to have a few takers to join me live because I'm very aware that it is Halloween tonight. And take my word for it, I actually went into my daughter's room and said, Cassidy, do you have anything Halloweenish here that I can wear for my live stream tonight? And we've got nothing. The stuff just can't last a year from last year. And we haven't actually done anything this year to celebrate Halloween, which is the first time like in 5 years. Don't ask me why, it just hasn't happened. So I was trying to dress up for you guys for Halloween. I have been unsuccessful. I failed in it. So you're just going to have to bear with me there, right? Let's make sure. Yes, I am live in the group. And I've got my first person on. Hey, Celine, how are you? So good to have you here. Now I am no longer alone. Disclaimer as well, it's going to be very noisy tonight, right? Everybody's home tonight, and Monday night when I live stream, it was tutoring, so half the kids weren't here. Well, they were in bed. Yes, they were in bed by the time I live streamed. That was the late night. Last night, my husband and daughter were away on choir. Tonight, everybody is here. Everybody's still awake, doing homework, watching TV, doing lots and lots of stuff. Celine says, I'm good, caught you live on my way home. Hope you're well. Fabulous. So I will keep you company. You keep your eyes on the road and you just keep your ears open. Unless you're being driven, as a proper VIP should be driven right home by a driver, which might be a hubby or anybody for that matter, or an Uber or a taxi or whatever. So glad to keep you company on your way home. Who else is here with me? Please hop on, say hi, say hello, so that I actually know who is here with me. And I'm so excited to tonight share with you the third of the 3 big mistakes practice owners make when marketing their allied health private practice. So we'll give it a couple of more seconds and see if we have a few more people hopping on. So I've had a pretty big day. Had to be at the Kapalaba practice at 10 o'clock this morning and realized that was the first time ever that Abby, my PA, went to the Kapalaba practice. And she's been working with me since late November, early December last year, which just goes to show how little I actually get on site to my practices. I think other than today, the previous time I was there was in October still, when we had our mental health awareness open day, and I can't even remember when last I was there before that in this calendar here. Hey Shay, how are you? And that is just testament to the fact that I am very hands-off when it comes to my private practices. Hey Melissa, thanks for hopping on. My 2 group private practices 100% run in my absence. That being said, of course, I do employ a fabulous principal psychologist, and she takes care of both my private practices, and she has done all my private practice success trainings. So she knows exactly what I need, what I want, what I require, and she does it so passionately. So I'm very, very blessed to have her in charge of my practice. Hey Michelle, how you going? So yes, I went to Kapalaba, had to be there 10 this morning for a meeting with our HR company, whom we have on retainer. Had a 2-hour straight meeting. Then they went away to do some stuff and came back at 3 to meet with us. In that in-between time, obviously had to go for lunch, and also had a fabulous impromptu unscheduled meeting with my operations team, which is me, my principal, Tracy, who does the numbers, Ash, who's in charge of the admin team, and then also Adam, who's in charge of all the clinical supervision and the clinical team. And we had a big discussion around our career progression pathway at the practice, how we want to make some amendments to that structure. So it was a really full-on thinking day in terms of, you know, just like being in the zone the whole day, thinking, plotting, planning, coming up with stuff. And we all finished the day very, very excited with the things that we're doing at the practice. And of course, I always look forward to sharing those things with you guys. However, I only share stuff that I know works, right? So if I'm going to trial something new at my practice, whether it's a new marketing technique, whether it's a new addition to how we structure my career progression pathway, if it's a new way of doing supervision, if it's a new way of running our numbers, doesn't matter what the change is, I will always trial it first, and I will only share it with you guys if it actually works, right? 100%. You know, people often look at my private practice that's been going for 10 years already, both of them. Well, the one 10 years, the other one 7 years. And they think that when you get to this level that, you know, it's just like, well, it's done and dusted. The fact of the matter is it's never done and dusted, right? A business has to consistently change in order to grow. When change stops in your practice, that's when you need to get scared, very scared, because it means that you have stopped growing, okay? Growth, change equals growth, okay? So it's really important, and I'm not talking about humongous change. Sometimes it's little changes, little tweaks that you are making to existing practices, policies, processes, right? But it's so important because without the changes, you just cannot grow. Let's see whom else have joined me. If you're hopping on, please say hi, say hello. Let me know you're here. Tell me about how your Wednesday has been. Here we go. Awesome. All right. Yes. So remind yourself of that, that your business is always a work in progress. That's very important. Hey, Kim, how are you? Your business, your practice is always a work in progress, just like you as a person are always a work in progress, right? We always need to work on ourselves, whether it's little changes as well. So this is our third night in a row that we are talking all things marketing and talking about the 3 biggest mistakes practice owners make when marketing their allied health private practice. On night 1, we spoke about not engaging. The biggest mistake is engaging in 911 marketing. And I said the solution to that is to do consistent marketing, right? Kim says, just posted vlog 31 of my 31-day vlog challenge. Well done, Kim. How's that for consistency, people? 31 days in a row. And I know Kim did that as part of Mental Health Awareness Month. Well done, Kim. You need to be very, very proud of yourself. That is consistency in action. And that consistency was the solution to that first biggest mistake. The second biggest mistake that we spoke about last night was loving and then leaving your referrers, okay? And we said that the solution to that, Kim says I am, and the solution to that is to have multiple touch points. Again, the C word, right? Consistent multiple touch points with your referrers, because why? We want to build a relationship with them, an ongoing relationship that's going to deepen over time. And that relationships, that's the stuff that builds loyalty, and therefore that's the protective stuff that protects your practice when there's a lot of competition coming into the marketplace, or when there's a lot of variables happening, right? So, hey Olga, hey Rachel, hi ladies, welcome. Thanks for hopping on. And not only a buffer from competition, because honestly speaking, I'm not very concerned about competition, but you know why? It's because I've built such amazing relationships with my referrers. That's why I don't have to worry about it. And even if, let's say, something that really stresses practice owners out is when they are team transition. So even when I have team transition and I go, oh my God, this person was only here for 9 months because, you know, maybe they fell pregnant unplanned, or maybe, you know, some example that we've had is the fiance popped the question and they're now moving to Adelaide to be closer to her family because they want to get married. And it's like, you know, I really intended this person to be here for a long time. Oh my goodness, they're going to think there's something wrong because this person only stayed for 9 months. When the fact of the matter is this stuff happens. Even when there's that type of variables occurring in my practice, I am safe as a business owner. My practice is safe as a business because of these strategic relationships that I have developed, because I have engaged in consistent multiple touch points over time with my referring doctors. So please make sure that you do this stuff. It's going to serve you so well down the track. Do not get lulled into a false sense of, I've got a lot of referrals coming in, I've got this, okay? You might got this right now, doesn't mean it's going to stay that way unless you put in the effort, okay? Rachel says, yeah. Okay, hey Nayleaf, welcome and thanks for hopping on. So before I'm going to talk to you about the third one, which is a very important one as well, what I just want to do is copy this in here. And I wanted to share tonight with you. Let me just enter that. I've just pinned. Hey Rebecca, how are you? I love the photo of your kids. I've just saw it on Facebook before I went live of your little Lees with their Halloween costumes. Hopefully they got a lot of treats, and hopefully they're not driving you too crazy on their sugar rush. You need to manage the eating of those treats. So I've just dropped the comment for the Private Practice Marketing Academy. We've already had our first enrollment in the lovely Lauren, I think. Yes, so which means there are still 4 places available should you want to get the bonus handout that comes with it, which is the types of referrals and fees that we accept at the Psych Professionals, which is an amazing document, especially to incubate and ensure that you're safe from becoming Medicare reliant. And what I've just put in the comments is all the other additional trainings that everybody else will get, all the additional handouts. So this is handouts, i.e. documents and trainings in addition to the actual content, okay? So you'll still get the actual content. These are just the additional stuff that I'm gonna give you, and it's stuff like do's and don'ts for GP meet and greets, which is always so popular. A social media and private practice, that's almost an hour-long training that I put together. You get a quarterly marketing summary, an example of what I've used at the practice. You get a template document in Word format for you to use. I give you scripts for speaking to doctors, so you've got absolutely no excuse not to talk to them, right? Also my 7 habits for abundant referrals. We look at your perfect elevator pitch, and anybody that's done the How to Start a Private Practice workshop, I teach this method in there, will tell you it's the best, the most amazing, and it doesn't feel like you're pitching. It just feels like you're having a conversation, right? And then the critical reflection sheet for client retention, which is actually a document I also give out. Hey, Sarah, that I give out at my masterclass. So that is just the list of additional handouts. I should be charging so much more than the $1,497 early bird price that I'm charging for this course. It's actually ridiculous that you are getting it for this price. So if you want to get in before the 7th of November, it's the early bird. After that, it goes up to the normal fee, investment amount of $1,997. Hey Nicole, thanks for hopping on. So let's get stuck then into the third biggest mistake that practice owners make when marketing their allied health practice. And that is not knowing where their referrals are coming from. Okay, hey Salima, you really need to phonetically type out your name, because I always say it in my head and then I say it out loud and then I go, I'm sure you mispronounced that, Gerda. So apologies if I did. So the third biggest mistake is not knowing where your referrals are coming from. So you're getting referrals, people are calling in, maybe getting faxes in, and you're not monitoring where they're coming from, okay? When it comes to marketing, there is one word that's really, really important. Just like when it comes to real estate, it's all about location, location, location. When it comes to marketing, it's all about measure, measure, measure. So what do we measure? We measure where your referrals are coming from. So every person that calls up, that doesn't send you an email, or every person that inquires, even if they don't book in, you want to ask the question, how did you hear about us? Okay, and no, that's not the first question that you ask off the bat, okay? But it's part of that conversation, it's part of the conversion conversation, it's part of the intake conversation, it's part of the triage conversation, whatever word you use in your private practice, but it's part of that conversation you want to ask, how did you hear about the psych professionals? Or how did you hear about, insert your practice name or your name if you're a solo practitioner and you're operating under your name. Hey Natasha, thanks for joining. You want to ask that and you want to track it. Okay, so our reception knows to ask that question. We also have it as an actual question on our intake paperwork. Now, we all know that clients often do their intake paperwork when they're in a rush, right? Which is why it's so important that as a clinician, when we take them into session 1, we actually don't just get into the assessment part of that session, but we actually go through the paperwork, make sure they properly understand confidentiality and its limits, you know, confidently understand, you know, cancellation fees by looking them in the eye as you have that discussion, all of that stuff. And another part of it is making sure that they've properly completed the forms, which could include authority to release information, for example. And as part of that is making sure that they've answered this question that is on our form, which is, how did you hear about us, right? And if they haven't completed it, reception needs to ask that question. Oh, what are you looking for, my lovely?
Glue stick.
You found it, glue stick. That's okay. It's my 11-year-old. He was sneaking through here, and then I had the sneeze, and that would excuse to appear and video bomb me, right? Yes, I see you over there. Oh, then my laptop just randomly starts playing music. All right. So, where were I? Yes. So you have the questionnaire on the intake paperwork. If they don't answer it, let the clinician can ask that question and make sure it's completed. Then reception will double check that it has been answered. And then for us, we use Power Diary at the practice. Reception will actually tick that little box in Power Diary. So Power Diary actually has a list in there in the client profile where we can go and tick GP, guidance officer, Facebook, Google, website, email, so they can tell us how they heard about us. So this is really, really important, and you cannot miss an opportunity to ask this question. So why do you want to know this? Okay, it's so important. Well, whenever you make a decision about the type of marketing you're going to be doing, you need to have this information. Hey Jackie, thanks for hopping on and joining. Thanks for the love heart. So every quarter when my operations team get together with myself, we do our 90-day planning, which includes putting together our quarterly marketing plan, which is one of the handouts you'll get. If you decide to take part in the Private Practice Marketing Academy, you actually get exactly what we did for not 3, we added an extra month as a bonus for you for 4 months. So when we sit down to have that discussion and go, okay, what marketing are we doing over the next 3 months? Before we talk about that, we run a report on Power Diary that tells us how many of our clients in the last 3 months were referred from each of those sources, I guess, on the list. How many people came from GPs, how many over Facebook, how many on Instagram, how many just friends and family, word of mouth, how many from the local schools. So we look at that, because that will tells us where do we need to focus our marketing efforts, right? So for us, a very consistent theme, hey Amanda, thanks for joining, is that a lot of our referrals come from GPs, which means that we need to consistently be showing them the love, right? Need to have consistent touch points. It also tells me that my marketing efforts to them are paying off, right? That's another thing. So you get a lot of important information. So to summarize, it tells me what marketing is paying off. So let's say if I decided to do follow a marketing strategy or tactic that I've never done before, but I've gone, it looks like a good idea. I don't know much about it. Let's do it for the next 3 months. I will then look at that report and see where does it rank with all this other stuff. And if it's at the bottom, I need to ask myself that question. Okay, it's at the bottom. So either 3 months wasn't enough time. Is it something that I think is going to need another 3 months? Or is it something where I go, no, that doesn't work in our industry and I'll let it go, which I've often done, right? So I've tested everything that I can think of. If it ranks really high amongst those sorters, I'm going to go cool bananas. That worked. I want to put more marketing dollars in that activity, right? Because the fact of the matter is, if you are monitoring where your clients are coming from, and clients means money coming into your practice, and you are a business that allows you to pay your bills, then you want to spend more money on that type of marketing activity, right? Because it's like you spend $10 on marketing, and if it leads to $20 back into your practice, that's a marketing strategy that works, right? You need to get a return on investment, but you won't know whether you're getting a return on investment unless you track where your clients are coming from. Does that make sense, people? Please let me know. Ask me a question if I need to clarify anything. Amanda says, hey girl, I love your vlogs. Thank you so much, Amanda. Any questions on that, guys? Let me know. Jackie says hello. Any questions, guys, on that? Rebecca Spear says, spot on yet again, Gerda. Thank you, Rebecca. Jackie says, yes, indeed. All right, so it makes sense, right? So you need to ask that question. You can start asking that question tomorrow. And so remember, it's all about return on investment. $10 out for $20 back in, right? Sandy says, hey Gerda, do you track the individual GP referrals? We do, but for other purposes. So when we calculate so GPs will just be one bunch, and then we can run a report on Power Diary of who are our top referring doctors. Okay, and those are called our practice angels, and we do specific marketing activities for those guys as part of the marketing that we do at the practice. So yes, we do, for this purpose of where to focus our marketing efforts, general marketing efforts, we look at general doctors. We want to look at who's our practice angels that we're going to show the love for, which is actually one of the modules I cover in the Private Practice Marketing Academy, where I talk about the 5 ways to ethically show your practice angels the love. So that would be the top 10 for my group Private Practice of GPs that refer, and those are individual doctors. That's not based on surgery, right? That's an individual GP based on how many patients they refer to us. Rebecca says, I need to learn how to do that in Power Diary. It's actually pretty easy, Rebecca. It's pretty easy. I might actually see if I can do a quick screen recording for you, and I'm happy to put that up. Very, very easy and very, very important, because you want to make sure you get return on investment. And the great thing about marketing is that marketing is a skill. Okay, a lot of people get very down on themselves and going, I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at talking. I don't know what to say, or I feel uncomfortable. Marketing is a skill, just like everything else. Just like how you had to learn the skill of CBT, just like you had to learn the skill of doing acceptance and commitment therapy. Marketing is a skill, and the great part of it is that it can be learned. Okay, which is why I'm running the Private Practice Marketing Academy. So you have no excuse not to do marketing and not to do it consistently, because you can learn those skills. Michelle says, we get a lot of word of mouth and Google searches. I think I need to step up the GP and Pete's. Pediatricians, we get them, but I probably haven't been thanking them enough. Now, Michelle, when I read that, my brain is just going, oh my goodness, there's then so much potential for your practice. If currently you've been able to build up your practice just through word of mouth and Google searches, if you had to add that second layer of looking after your GPs and pediatricians, you can double the referrals coming into your private practice. I can guarantee you that. Well, I can't because I'm not there doing the marketing for you, because then I can guarantee you. But if you undertake to implement and you do the work, you will double your referrals. I can never say that word properly. And I look forward to doing that with you, Michelle. It's going to be so much fun. All right, where's the Facebook page? All right, guys, I hope that has been helpful. And I hope these 3 vlogs have given you guys a lot of food for thought on your marketing. Michelle says it's been mad. We've been riding the cruise marketing wave. Yes. And, you know, it's fine to be cruising, but just imagine how many people you can help when you put the pedal on the metal, right? Imagine how big your practice can grow when you put the pedal on the metal, when you start making a bit of waves in your local community, right? Michelle says, need to step it up, bring it on. Thanks, Gerda. Oh, yes, I will bring it. You can be guaranteed of that, Michelle. Amanda says, we track all referrals on Power Diary. We monitor our weekly KPIs. Perfect. My receptionist is key. Oh, yeah, I must say, you know, these things are much easier when you do have reception. She's great at this. She came to your masterclass. I remember Amanda workshop with me and she has it down pat. Thank you, Gerda. I'm so glad to hear that. And it's always amazing for me when I get feedback from masterclass attendees and they're actually doing this stuff because it works. It's what gets you the results, right? Fabulous. Okay, all right, everybody, we're gonna leave it at that. What's the time now? 7:41 here in Queensland. It's time for me to go upstairs, put my 2 little monkeys in bed, the 2 boys. One is standing right there pasting homework still in his homework book. And then I'll probably get my 16-year-old to get calm for the night. Do you want to come say good night, Hannah, to all the ladies and some gentlemen? We've got some guys as well. Say bye-bye. Bye. Goodbye. Look, we're wearing our Broncos in the middle of, well, it's not middle of summer, but we wear this all-weather conditions because we're a Broncos fan, right? Finish up your homework. It's bedtime. Yes, so it was great chatting to all of you over the last 3 nights. If you've got any marketing related questions, thank you for the love hearts, everyone. If you're watching the recording, please feel free to pop it in here. I will come back and answer it. And I so look forward to spending some time really getting stuck into marketing with those of you that will be doing the Private Practice Marketing Academy. Can't wait to get that started on the 20th of November. And Michelle says homework procrastinating. Yes, because they don't want to go to bed, right? Yes. So it's easy homework, pacing stuff in. It's not maths or assignments. It's the easy stuff. And remember, if you want the early bird price, you need to enroll by the 7th of November, which I suspect is next week, Wednesday. So do not miss out. I will speak to you all again soon, everybody. And remember, as always, all you need to do is say yes to your very own ultimate level 5 private practice. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.